Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while. If you don't know me, my name is Miss Robin-Renea. I am a young lady from the Bahamas who wants to be more than a content creator, but a friend and sister. So let's get into it. So today I am doing a soft glam on myself for church. So first of all, I go in with my Dove beauty cream as a moisturizer and base. I really like how this feels on my face. It's not oily, it's not greasy, and I have combination skin, so it definitely works for me. So now I follow up with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, which is now my favorite primer, honestly. It works like a dream. I really love it. It really keeps the face on for a good while. So I rub that in evenly, making sure my entire face is covered, and I let it sit for a minute or two before I put on my foundation. And don't think I'm just sitting here in the quiet. I am listening to a podcast by Mr. Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell from 2819 Church. It's refreshing. It's real. So here you are, see me. I'm listening to the podcast while I do my makeup. So now I'm going in with my Fit Me foundation in the color Deep Bronze, which is number 370. And you'll see me use an applicator brush. Do not be afraid to use your makeup. So I go in with my applicator brush and I cover my entire face with the product so I can have an even tone, because nobody really want to be patchy. Nobody. Like, that's a fear of mine. And if you notice, in this video it's gonna look a little like you just have to trust the process, okay? Because I was looking at it and I was like, okay, either it's the lighting or today in my day. But I know one thing, I was not gonna wash this off. I was not washing my face off. I had one too many days like that, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna trust my own process and I'm just gonna go with it. So if the video flop, it flopped, but it didn't flop. So if it looks a little ashy looking, like nothing is working for me, trust me and trust the process, okay? So like I said, I apply it everywhere on my face and around my chin area. Before I blend out any of my makeup, I go in with setting spray. This is a trick that I learned from a local makeup artist here in Grand Bahama. So I go in with my Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by e.l.f. and I spray it on and I give it like a few seconds, and then I use a dense foundation brush and I blend out my makeup. I know I look crazy right now, but like I say, trust the process. Trust the process. So you'll see me blend it out in the middle of my face and around my hairline, my jawline, and a little on my neck, just so I could have some even tone going on. Next, I go in with my LA Girls concealer, and this is the color Chestnut. This is a darker shade than the brighter shade that I use. You'll see me use two different shades. One would be Chestnut, one would be Toffee. Of course, Toffee being the brighter shade. So I'll go in with Chestnut first, and then after I would blend that out, I would go in with my Toffee as the lifting color. The reason I do this is because I don't want my shade to jump from one color to the next. I want it to be a smooth sailing. I want it to be smooth. I don't want to be patchy. So you'll see me do that in this video. I put it on the top of my lip. I put it on my chin. You'll see me put it on the bridge of my nose, and of course my forehead. I also use this as the beginning of my eyebrow, and then you'll see me go in with the toffee shade at the arch of my eyebrow to give it a lifted look. Of course, I'm gonna go in with my setting mist. So I give it a little spray, give it a few seconds before I blend it in, and then you'll see me blend it in. I try to be gentle because my hands are heavy. Trust me, my hands are heavy. You see me doing my dance? That's me. That's always me. I always gotta get my jig on no matter what. So I blend it out. I try to go light on blending it out because I don't want it to have those little dot marks when you just pat like you're going over your head. Yeah, I ain't trying to have that. So I blend it out. I try to be as gentle as possible, and I also keep the way I put my concealer on. I also try to keep it the same, in a sense, that same way, that same lifted look. And I would connect it to my top lip, as you see here, and I just keep blending it out. Blending. That's the most important part when it comes to makeup. Always blend. Always blend. Don't blend too much because you just might blend it off. But blend, okay? Okay, so here I go doing my T-zone. Now, the reason I do my makeup the way I do it, like not all at once, is because I want to make sure I ain't patchy. And because I know concealer dries very quickly, I am going to do it piece. Just for my safety, for my security, because that's just me. Now, if I were to be doing it on somebody else's face, I do it all at one time because I know I'd be moving a little bit faster, just for their convenience. But for me, because it's me and it's on my time and this is something that I like to do, I'm going to take my time and do it how I want to do it. That's how I would tell anybody to do their makeup. Honestly, make sure it's nice and clean looking and it's blended well, but do it how you are fit and how you are comfortable in doing your own makeup. So that is why you see me doing it how I'm doing it. So of course, I'm going to use my powder puff and I'm going to blend out my T-zone as well. And then I go in and do my eyebrows. This is my everything pencil. It's supposed to be an eyeliner. I use it for a lip liner. And at some point, I actually used it for my contour because I had no contour stick or cream at the time. I was jonesing, I was bumming. I had to do something, and nobody knew. Nobody is gonna ever know. But now you know anyway, so it is what it is. But I use this to fill in my eyebrows as well, as you see here. I go in with light strokes, and I make sure I go based on the shape of my eyebrow. and I fill it in lightly to make it look more natural. Normally I use the brown pear soap to lift my eyebrows, but I wasn't feeling it today. So I just went the old fashioned way and drew them in after brushing them up. And then I would use this old empty mascara bottle to lift my eyebrows, keep them lifted, and to blend it in to make it look more natural. This is a trick I've been using for years. I just picked it up on my own. I didn't have any spoolies or anything, and I had one of my mascara bottles, and I just went ahead and used it. And from then, it has worked wonders for me. Concealer, I go a little bit lighter on the amount of products I use, just for a good transitioning look. I go back over and I repeat the same steps I would have done before in the beginning. And then, of course, I'll blend it out, blend it into my eyelids just to make sure everything seems and appears to be transitioning into shades. Not like I said before, I'm not looking for a patchy look, so I'm going to ensure that I blend it out the best way I can, the smartest way I could, while also keeping that lifted look. As for my eyebrows, I use the lighter shade concealer for the arch of it, and for the beginning of my eyebrows, I would use the darker concealer so it would blend in evenly, as I said before. So I did mess up a little bit, and that bugged me, I ain't gonna lie. You can see it on my face, that bugged me, but I ended up fixing it. That's what I love about makeup. I could always just fix it with my makeup. And then I go over my T-zone and the bridge of my nose with my lighter shade concealer. Next, I use a fluffier concealer brush and I blend out the underbrow, starting with the darker concealer and moving my way into the lighter concealer. And I never forget to blend it into my eyelids so it doesn't look as dark, or the colors aren't blotchy on my eyelids as well. And it also gives it a natural look. After evenly blending it out, I go in with my bronzer by Juvia's Place in the shade Dark. I truly love Juvia's Place. I will have to say, it's so pigmented and it hits every time. So I go in with my angled brush and I use it just below the perimeter of my hairline. You'll see me use it on my temple and under my cheekbones. I'll use it around my chin area just to give it a more defined look. And I will also use it to define my nose. You'll see me do it on the bridge of my nose. Sometimes I use it on my eyelids, but in this video I did not. I just wasn't feeling it today, but it does work on your eyelids as a eyeshadow, or even if you just want to bring your face to life. You know how some people have those raccoon eyes? I am one of those persons when I'm good and ready. So I'll definitely use my bronzer on my eyelids. People have asked me before, oh, what eyeshadow palette did you use? I didn't use no eyeshadow palette. I used my bronzer. And it works like a charm. It really does. It really brings the face back to life after you would have used all of your lighter shades. Here you'll see me blend it out into the top part of my eyelid so I could keep that natural look. Always keep that natural look in mind so you won't look ashy, you won't look pasty, you won't look casket ready. After I'm satisfied with my bridge, I go in with my Black Radiance contour palette in the shades medium to dark. I'm going to use the darkest shade, which is the contour, and I'll go directly on my temple and directly on my hairline and just under the bronzer so that I can have an even look as well. You're going to keep hearing me say even look, because I need you guys to know that you can't go out and be Patchy. You are not Patchy the pirate from SpongeBob. You're a girl. You're just a girl. Next, I'm going to set my face as well as put on blush. I use the Maybelline Lasting Fix setting powder as well as my Juvia's Place blush in volume 3. I always put on my blush first before I put on my setting powder because sometimes I can be heavy-handed with my blush and I may overdo it. So I'll put on the blush first and then I'll bake my face and then I'll go back over my entire face with all of the powdered products that I would have used. Then I use a separate powder puff for baking my face. You'll see me apply it on the puff and then I go in under my eyes. Always be careful because this stuff, when you open it, it gets everywhere, no matter what. So you'll see me apply it right under my eyes. And everywhere you would have seen me put my concealer, I put it directly on those parts. I don't put it on the bronzed part. So you'll see me put it under my eyes and on the bridge of my nose where I would have put the concealer, above my lip and on my chin, and of course on my forehead. So while my face is setting, I'm going to go in with my very own lashes from Miss Robin-Renea's. I go in with the Duo Glue and I'll put it on my lash line as well as the strips themselves just to make sure I have a secure lash. Always make sure the glue is tacky before putting on your lashes. I'm going to do that off camera because it gets a little personal and hectic. Now I'm going to go in with my LA Girls lip liner in the shade Forever Red. I'm going for a red lip based on the outfit that I'm wearing. You'll see me go in with the black liner for my lips first. And I'll blend it out just a little bit, rub my lips together and blend them out. And then I'll put on the red lip liner. And for the lipstick, I'm using the Maybelline Plum For Me. I threw away all my lipsticks because I haven't been using them for the past, I don't know how many years. I know they're expired, so I just threw them away. And before I threw the fresher set of lipsticks that I have, I said, you know what? Let's go for gold. Let's go for gold. Now, when I was applying this lipstick, because I haven't been using colors for so long, I was a little skeptical. I was going to wipe it off, but I said, you know what? It's the lighting. it's definitely delighting. The lip is okay. The lip is fine. It's fine. It's cool. You're good. You're good. I had second thoughts, but I said, you know what? Just trust the process. Keep rubbing it together. Keep blending it together. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Then I'm going to press in my setting powder and go over again with my powdered products. Now I know what you're thinking. You look white. I thought I looked white. I looked in the mirror that I have on my desk and I look at it. I looked at my face and said, okay, I look white. Why do I look white? I did everything like I normally do, but why do I look white? And then it really dawned on me. It's the lighting. It's not me. It is definitely the lighting. So I had to reassure myself to trust my own process and don't wash this off because church is in a few minutes and the deed is done. It's too late. So I go over again with my powdered products, my bronzer, my contour, and my blush. And one thing about me, I'm always gonna use my eyeliner. Always, always, always. I just love eyeliner. Whether it be colored or just simple black and or white, I'm gonna use it on my face. Even if I don't have on a full face of makeup. Now I'm gonna go in with my Black Radiance palette again. And I'm gonna use the highlighter and I'm gonna put it on the very tip of my nose and blend it into the bridge. And of course that brings my makeup routine to an end. So the time is now 10:20 and it is time for me to put on my clothes. Here's the finished results in natural lighting. See, I told you, it was definitely the lighting. Thanks for watching and don't forget, Jesus loves you.